The chandelier lights in the Atlanta venue were just starting to dim for the first dance when my stepfather made his grab. Not for the bouquet, but for my arm, twisting it hard enough that I felt the lace of my gown give way. The folder he shoved into my chest was thick with lies, pages of forged contracts meant to chain me to his sinking ship of a business. I didn't scream. Not yet. Instead, I locked eyes with my fiancé across the room, and he nodded subtly, touching the boutonniere on his lapel. That was the signal. The one that brought the agents pouring in from the edges of the crowd, badges hidden until now. My name is Elena Harper, and for the past 5 years, I've worked as a senior fraud investigator at Apex Financial Services in downtown Atlanta. Spotting red flags in balance sheets is my daily grind. But nothing prepared me for turning my own wedding into a trap for the man who'd married my mother and then tried to steal my future. The Peachtree Ballroom smelled of gardenias and spilled Prosecco that night. 200 guests milled about, toasting to me and Daniel Voss, the man who'd proposed under the oaks in Piedmont Park last year. Everything looked picture perfect: the string quartet, the tiered cake with its sugar flowers, the smiles frozen in place. But beneath it all, a storm had been brewing for months. It started with a casual dinner at my mother's Buckhead home, the kind where the wine flows and the conversation turns to favors. Victor Lang, my stepfather of 4 years, slid a sleek envelope across the linen tablecloth while my mother busied herself with dessert plates. Just a quick signature. Elena, he said, his voice smooth as aged bourbon. Lang Renovations is expanding, and your credit is gold. Family looks out for family. The amount? $380,000. He needed a co-signer. And my 810 FICO score was his golden ticket. I pushed the envelope back without opening it. I'm not comfortable with that, Victor. My mother's eyes pleaded from across the table, her fork hovering midair. He's put everything into this. Honey, it would mean the world. But I knew better. In my job, I dissected enough sham LLCs to smell the setup from a mile away. That night, alone in my midtown condo, I pulled my credit report. 4 unauthorized inquiries in 2 weeks, all tracing back to lenders I'd never heard of. The digital trails led to IP addresses from a co-working space Victor frequented near Lenox Square. He was shopping my credit like it was on sale. The pressure built like humidity before a summer storm. Weekly family gatherings turned into sieges. Victor would arrive with revised documents, each more polished than the last, glossy brochures for non-existent projects, fake invoices stamped with urgency. My mother played the peacemaker, her voice trembling. You're so successful. Elena, why not help us out? Us. The word stung. She'd chosen him after Dad's heart attack 7 years ago. And now it was them against me. I started documenting everything. Scanned papers, recorded voicemails where Victor's tone edged from persuasive to threatening. Don't make me regret bringing you into this family, one message hissed. Then came the forgery. A loan application to SunTrust Bank with my signature photoshopped from an old lease agreement. The metadata screamed foul, created on software licensed to the Georgia Department of Transportation, where Victor's old pal Derek handled bids. I sat in my office, staring at the screen, my coffee growing cold. This wasn't just pushy, this was criminal. Daniel found me there at midnight. Charts sprawled across my desk. We need to stop this, he said, rubbing my shoulders, before it ruins everything. He was right, but stopping it meant going deeper. Daniel's best man, Alex Reed, was a white-collar crime specialist with the Georgia Attorney General's office. Over coffee in a nondescript diner, Alex reviewed my files. This is solid, he said. Forgery, identity theft, potential wire fraud. But we need him to cross the line in real time. I leaned forward. What if we use the wedding Let him think it's his last chance. Alex didn't blink. Risky, but effective. We'd need surveillance. Witnesses. The works. We mapped it out meticulously. I'd set clear boundaries, a notarized letter stating I wouldn't co-sign anything. Warning of legal action for further harassment. Victor responded with rage. My mother with tears. But it only fueled his desperation. I dove into the records. Lang Renovations had phantom clients, firms like Peach State Builds and Southern Supply Company, all registered to strip mall mailboxes. Payments looping through accounts opened on the same day. Invoices bore watermarks from state printers, courtesy of Derek. It was a house of cards, and Victor needed my credit to prop it up. One night, tracing transactions, I uncovered the depth. $250,000 in prior defaults from similar schemes, buried in old filings. He'd ruined his ex-wife's brother this way years ago. My mother knew bits. Emails showed her forwarding confirmations, but she buried her head in denial. He's just ambitious, she'd say. Ambitious enough to destroy lives. As the wedding neared, Alex's team prepped the venue. Hidden cams in the floral arrangements, audio bugs in the centerpieces. The boutonniere was Daniel's panic button, 2 presses for backup. We dusted decoy documents with forensic powder. Invisible but traceable. If he shoves these at you, Alex said, he's marked for days. The plan was simple. Let Victor corner me. Capture the coercion. Intervene before real harm. But deep down, I knew he'd escalate. His pattern was words, then force. The day arrived crisp and clear. I walked down the aisle on my uncle's arm, veil fluttering, guests beaming, vows exchanged, rings slipped on, pure joy for a moment. Then the reception. Laughter. Toasts. The cake cutting. My mother held the bouquet early, her hands shaking. Time for some fun, she announced, tossing it high. Distraction achieved. Victor moved in as the crowd cheered. Folder in hand. Sign it now, Elena, or I'll make this night unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. His breath reeked of scotch. I backed away. No. He grabbed my arm, twisting. The shove sent me sprawling into the dessert table. Gown ripping, skin splitting along my shoulder blade from a sharp edge. Pain bloomed hot and sharp. Daniel pressed the button. Agents emerged, 3 in suits, blending until now. Mr. Lang. Step back. Victor's face crumpled from fury to fear as they cuffed him. Papers scattered, glowing faintly under the lights we'd rigged. My mother gasped. Bouquet crushed. The music died. Guests murmured in shock. I touched my back. Blood smeared my fingers. But as paramedics arrived, I felt a strange calm. The trap had snapped shut. In the chaos that followed, the Peachtree Ballroom transformed from celebration hall to evidence locker. Agents cordoned off the area with quiet efficiency, while guests whispered behind champagne flutes. My shoulder needed 12 stitches. The table's corner had bitten deep, but the Rayal wound was deeper. The kind that doesn't show on x-rays. Victor sat in a side room, hands cuffed, protesting innocence. This is a misunderstanding. Family business. But the powder on his fingers told a different story, lighting up like neon under UV. My mother hovered nearby, wringing her hands. Elena, what have you done? Her voice cracked. But I saw the flicker, guilt mixed with relief. She'd known enough to enable, not enough to stop. Daniel held me as the medics worked, his face pale. It's over, he whispered. But it wasn't. Not yet. The arrest was just the opening act. Flashback 2 months. To when the web started unraveling faster. I'd escalated my digs into Victor's operations, using Apex's databases under the guise of professional development. Lang Renovations claimed 40 contracts in 8 months. But cross-checks showed 0 actual builds. Clients were ghosts, addresses leading to empty lots or P.O. boxes. One night, poring over scans, I found the linchpin, a batch of invoices created on GDOT equipment. Timestamps matching Derek's shifts. Got you, I murmured to the empty room. Daniel brought tea, chamomile. To calm the nerves I pretended not to have. He's applying to more lenders, I said, showing the alerts. 8 inquiries now. All fraudulent. This ends with him in orange. We met Alex at his office downtown. Files spread like a war map. We can get a warrant for limited surveillance, he said. But you need to bait him. I nodded. Tell him I'm reconsidering, but only at the wedding. With family pressure. Victor bit hard. Calls turning triumphant. My mother played along. Her emails begging me to rethink for the family's sake. She was in deeper than I thought, signing as witness on dummy docs. Shuttling mail. Betrayal burned, but I channeled it into prep. The venue walkthrough felt surreal. Alex's team installed gear, while the coordinator, Lisa, eyed us curiously. Extra security for a rowdy uncle, I lied. She nodded, letting see it all. We placed Victor's table strategically, closed for access, ringed by Daniel's law enforcement pals posing as cousins. Decoy folders waited in a locked case, laced with smart ink that encoded timestamps. If he forces your hand, Alex said, it's ironclad. Daniel worried. What if he hurts you? I touched his face. Then we have assault on top of fraud. Win-win for the case. But inside, fear coiled. Victor's temper had shown in flashes, slamming doors. Veiled threats. My mother dismissed it as stress. Stress that could break bones. Rehearsal dinner was tense. Victor toasted with false warmth, eyes gleaming, to new beginnings and partnerships. I smiled back, stomach churning. Later, alone with Daniel, I broke. What if Mom sides with him completely? He held me. Then we know. And we move on. The truth hurt, but clarity sharpened resolve. Wedding morning dawned humid. Atlanta's summer clinging. Hair. Makeup. The dress, ivory silk that hugged like a second skin. Friends buzzed. Oblivious. My mother helped with the veil. Her touch hesitant. You look beautiful, she said. Tears? Regret? I couldn't tell. Thanks, Mom. The words stuck. Ceremony blurred. Vows. Kiss. Applause. Reception flowed. Dances. Laughs. Then the bouquet toss. Premature. Flowers arced. Victor struck. Grab. Shove. Crash. Pain exploded. Folder thrust forward. Sign or regret it. Refusal. Twist. Fall. Blood. Signal. Agents. Cuffs. Flashbulbs from confused photographers. My mother rushed to Victor first. Not me. That said everything. Paramedics stitched me up in a back room while Alex debriefed. We got it all: audio, video, physical evidence. Victor's hands glowed, linking him to the docs. My mother's phone seized. Texts damning. She crumbled under questioning. I thought it was harmless paperwork. Harmless. The word echoed as they led Victor away. Hospital follow-up confirmed no fractures. Just bruising and the scar that would fade slower than trust. Daniel drove me home. Our honeymoon postponed. Proud of you, he said. But pride mixed with grief. Family shattered. Days blurred into statements. Depositions. Victor lawyered up, claiming setup. But evidence mounted. Derek flipped, admitting printer access for favors. Shell companies collapsed under scrutiny, $1.1 million in phantom loans across years. Victor's prior surfaced, similar cons on relatives. My mother faced accessory charges, reduced for cooperation. She called daily, pleading. I didn't know he'd hurt you.
Lies.
Emails proved otherwise. I blocked her. Healing came in pieces. Therapy for betrayal. Workouts for strength. Daniel's support anchored me. Work promoted me. Irony. My personal case boosting credentials. But nights. Doubts whispered. Was the trap worth the wreckage? 3 months post-wedding. The federal building in Atlanta loomed like Judgment Day. Preliminary hearing for U.S.
V.
Victor Lang. I sat in the witness box. Suit crisp. Voice steady. Prosecutor Mia Torres played the footage. Bouquet. Approach. Assault. Jurors leaned in. Faces hardening. MS. Harper. Described the coercion. I recounted months of pressure. Forgeries.
Threats.
Victor stared daggers. His lawyer objecting futilely. Cross-exam painted me vengeful. You orchestrated this at your wedding? I documented a crime. I corrected. He chose violence. My mother testified next. Voice small. I helped with mail. Didn't realize. Lies cracked under pressure. She admitted signaling the toss. Betrayal replayed.
Raw.
Verdict preview. Guilty likely. But victory felt hollow. Backtrack to the build-up. After arrest. Investigation snowballed. Alex's team raided Victor's office. Hard drives yielding gold. Spreadsheets of fake transactions. Emails to Derek for prints. My mother's home searched. P.O. box keys in her drawer. She broke an interrogation. Victor said it was temporary. To get the business going. Temporary ruin. I visited her post-bail. Coffee cold between us. Why him over me? Tears fell. Love blinds. Blind to assault? I left. Door closing on us. Daniel and I honeymooned belatedly in the Smokies. Cabin seclusion healing wounds. Family's what we build, he said.
True.
Friends rallied. Work thrived. But mother's calls haunted. Pleas for forgiveness. Testify truthfully, I said once. That's your amends. Trial proper open with bang. Footage again. My blood stark. Alex detailed forensics, powder trails, metadata. Classic fraud pyramid. Derek on stand. Deal cut. Victor paid for access. Shells exposed. Millions looped. Victor's ex testified. Similar ruin. Patterns sealed it. My turn. Calm recount. He saw my wedding as leverage. Cross failed. Mother's testimony gutted. I threw the bouquet to help him.
Why?
Feared losing him. Jurors shifted. Closing. Torres hammered. Betrayal in lace and lies. Defense floundered. Deliberation short. Guilty all counts. Fraud. Assault. Conspiracy. Sentencing pending. Outside. Alex clapped my back. You built this case. Daniel kissed me. Our win. But mother's glance from across hall lingered, lost. Post-trial. Life reordered. Promotion to lead investigator. Scar faded. But ethics nagged. Entrapment or justice. Victor got 11 years. Mother probation. House retained for testimony. She reached out. Can we try? I paused. Boundaries first. Tentative coffee followed. Words careful. Healing? Maybe. Daniel and I hosted dinners. New family. Venue sent card. Chaos bonus. Free anniversary party.
We laughed.
But echoes remained. Trust's fragility. Betrayal's cost. Sentencing day brought closure's edge. Victor. Shackled. Face judge. Guidelines, 10 to 14 years. Torres push max. Pattern of predation. Victims spoke, including me. He turned love to weapon. Victor's plea. regret. Family man.
Hollow.
Judge. 12 years. No parole early. Gavel fell. Mother's sob echoed. Later.
She met me in lobby.
Satisfied. Just, I said. We hugged stiffly. Bridge mending slow. Recall prep weeks. Evidence review. Mock cross. Nerves peaked. Daniel soothed. Truth wins. It did. Post-sentencing. Assets seized. Restitution flowed. I donated mine to Fraud Victims Fund. Work boomed. Cases echoed mine. Personal. Therapy unpacked mother's role. Enabler, shrink said. Forgive for you. I tried. Dinners resumed. Guarded. Victor wrote from prison, apologies.
Blame.
I burned it. Life forward. Anniversary and venue. No drama. Laughs.
Toasts.
Scar a reminder. Strength from shatter. Years on. The wedding album sits dusty. Photos capture joy. Then shift. But stories end? Not vengeance. But reflection. What price family? Victor paroled eventually. Shadow self. Mother and I. Fragile peace. Lessons etched. Daniel and I. Stronger. Kids now. Teaching trust's value. Betrayal scars. But justice heals. Question lingers. When family turns foe. Do you trap or flee? I chose trap and wonder still.